welcome back. Big day, a lot of shit to do, no time to waste. I'm just about to pull the XC apart. Last episode, you would have seen that we failed the vehicle inspection for a little pinhole of rust in the A-pillar. On the A-pillar, a little bit of rust right there. Now, if you're joining us for the first time and you think, a near on 50-year-old car, it's a failed inspection for a little pinhole of rust, that's pretty good. Well, that's after I've already done an extensive list of repairs to this thing.
No, stay right there. Don't go back and watch my videos and give me views and likes and support me in this journey of the XC. Just stay right here and just trust that I will catch you up. As you can see, a bunch of little repairs here and there, aka rebuilding the whole underside of this bloody car. Sway bars, all that sort of good stuff. Look at the rake on this thing. Doesn't that just look fantastic? Oh, anyways, had to make it look boring and standard. Little things like indicators, all the boring stuff, just to make it roadworthy.
So now you're caught up to what we're doing today. I've got to get straight into pulling the door off, pulling the guard off, just to access this area and repair the rust properly because the inspection is tomorrow. But I was just about to get into the repairs when I realized I don't have any white monsters in the fridge. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a bloody white monster addict. So because this car is such a daily driver, drive it down to the servo, get some white monsters, and then pull it apart and start repairing the rust. Now in the last video I made a little bit of a statement on getting the cars out, getting your old cars out and just drive them. Hell, even the new cars, stop worrying about the whole low kilometre business and just enjoy your cars. You never know when rules and regulations will come in that'll prevent us from going out and enjoying our cars, whether that's wildly expensive fuel, registration, or just an outright ban on old combustion engines. And a lot of people seem to agree, which is great to see. But if you're thinking you don't want to drive your car every day because it handles like a bag of balls because it's 50-year-old suspension technology, I mean, I upgraded pretty much just the sway bars. Just the sway bars in this have been upgraded to white line suspension sway bars. I tell you what, changes the drive completely. This thing handles a lot more like a modern car now, just by upgrading the thickness of the sway bars and putting those white line ones in. I can move this around and turn corners and it feels good. It doesn't feel like a boat trying to capsize going around a bend. So highly recommend the white lines. I'll tell you what though, I've got to sort out this whole no cup holder situation because, I don't know. Leave a comment if you've got an X Series Falcon. How have you done the cup holders? Have you just sort of integrated them into a custom center console unit? Let me know. All right, now that that's sorted, let's get into today's work. And today's work is a bit of a doozy. So, like I said before, that little rust hole there, basically got to grind back all the steel around there, see what the condition of it is, and then weld in a patch. Now, to do that, I've got to take this door off. I've got to take this front guard off as well. Now, luckily, on these older cars, very easy to do. And if you watched the first video on this car, you would have seen me do the office chair trick, which a lot of people loved and a lot of people, so if you haven't seen that video, you're about to watch something that's gonna blow your bloody mind. And for a good reason, because it's a bloody good trick, because getting these doors off, some of these older cars, especially the utes, because the doors are massive, some of them are really bloody heavy and getting them on and off is an absolute nightmare. So the office chair trick coming into play to save the day. Now if we go over to the XA Falcon over here, essentially once we take the door and the guard off, we'll be exposed with an A-pillar, which is hopefully in a bit better condition than this one. This one still needs to be replaced on this car. But we're looking at this area here. So I'm ready. I've got the welder. I've got my white monster. I'm ready to take things off the car and just start cutting, start using the old hot metal glue gun here, weld some metal in. Are you ready? If you're not, pause the video, go get some chips, go get some snacks, get a little drinky poo, come back and we'll get into it.
God, I really need a bloody hoist. Anyways, let's get the car up in the air, just on these wheel ramps. They get at the perfect height, I found, to get this door off the office chair. So, as you all have seen in the first episode, if you haven't seen it, go back and have a gander, but look at that. Look how magic that is. No messing around trying to hold a door in awkward angles. Get the office chair up to the heights, put the door, roll it out, easy as. And of course, this guard probably hasn't been removed in a very long time, so there's the token years and years of dust from all over Australia, I'm sure, sitting in that lower section. But luckily, these cars are quite easy to take apart. The only thing that makes it difficult is the bolts that haven't been removed are just totally rusted. And when it comes to plastic bits like on this grill, most of the bloody screws are cracked off or missing. But a couple of bolts here and there, a little bit of force gets the guard off, and there we have it. We have pretty much most of the front of the car exposed.
All right, we're on. Pretty sure that was the first time that guard has ever been taken off. And I was thinking that once I took it off, I would just be like, oh no, it's much worse than what I thought it was. But that's not the case. Luckily, hooly dooly, it actually looks really nice in there. Now, I understand my version of really nice is totally different to what you think. You probably think, that looks horrible, but I mean, that's the factory sealant there. Obviously, there could be a little bit of rust behind there, but we're not dealing with massive holes. Even on this sill, like look at that. No actual rust holes or deep rust. Whilst this is all exposed, I'll be treating it somewhat. And I say somewhat because I'm not gonna treat it fully. I'm not gonna go ham, grind it all back, do the prop, because that's called Project Car Runaway. It's what I discussed with the front of the car. And then suddenly it's tomorrow morning. I haven't even touched the rust on the A-pillar, but the whole front of the car looks bloody great. No, we're here for one purpose. Fix what I need to for the inspection, get out of there. So let's have a look. Here is the area in question. Obviously paint is covering it. Looks like there was a prior repair. Someone tried to do something prior, and by repair, I mean they've bogged over it. That's literally all they've done. Horribly too, and then they've paint brushed the paint on it. Looks like shit. So let's get this hinge off. Also, I have rebuilt the original hinge. So I'll take this powder coated one off, take it away, put the rebuilt one on. And while we're here, probably repaint this whole pillar, just so that's done. But let's get these hinges off, see what lies beneath. All right, hinges off. Only real way to get into it is to start grinding this shit away. Doesn't look too bad. Now, I'm saying it doesn't look too bad is because this same section on the XA, when I first got it, it didn't exist. It was, especially on the left-hand side, the passenger side, it was all fiberglass and bog, and it was just holes, and I could put my fist through the bloody thing. So, to me, this is schmickety-doo. Let's get the flapper wheel on there, get rid of all the paint and the bog, and see just what we're dealing with.
So I started off with the wire brush, got sick of that pretty bloody quickly and moved to the strip it disc, which made absolutely short work of all the bog and all the paint and all the other crap that are around there. And then the finishing touch with the little whizzy wheel before making a couple of cuts just to see how bad this rust was, hoping that there wasn't much rust underneath, which is the killer. But thankfully, just this little section had a little bit of rust on it and everything around it was good to go. I made the hole just a little bit bigger just so I could treat it a little bit better, get some spray in there, get some rust converter, just spray it all up in there, just get it in there. And then over here on this bit, it had sort of bubbled up and I knew that that part had rusted too. Now, this area is prone for rust because as you can tell, there's a lot of layers of steel meeting here. So just in this piece that I took off just then was 2 separate layers of steel and they had started rusting. However, the third layer, which was the A-pillar itself, was totally clean, as you can see. So we're pretty lucky there.
As you can see, it's a little bit blacker than what it was before. I did a couple of coats with a rust converter of all this area after doing a little bit of a wire wheel. Still waiting for this section to dry because I forgot about it when I was doing all that. So now I've got those layers of rust converter drying now before I go over them with the KBS Prime. This section I've done in primer as well, and the sections where I'll be welding in the new pieces of steel, I've done in the black weld-through primer. I probably should have done it in a grey weld-through primer or a different colour weld-through primer so I could tell the difference, or just waited until I was done to do the primer, but we're trying to do this quickly. We're trying to speed run this A-pillar repair. But now I've got this piece of steel right here that I am going to make a little rectangle there, make the rectangle there, put them in, weld them in, spray some primer over those, and then I've got a can of the sweet cream to colour match this. Now I'm not looking for perfection, I'm not looking for the perfect blend there, I'm just looking for sealed and repaired. Now a lot of people use cardboard to get the exact shape they need and they transfer the cardboard over to the metal. I won't be doing that because it's literally just a couple of rectangles. It's not anywhere where you're seen, so a rough rectangle that fits in the hole is good enough. So I'm going to start cutting this, getting it in there. It is the afternoon already and there's a burgers and steel bumpers event tonight, so I'm trying to make it to that. So I'm going to jump right into it. You sit right there.
Now here's where my qualification as a diesel mechanic comes in handy. Arts and craft. Crayons and crayon related activities and cutting out shapes. That is my bread and butter as a diesel fitter. So this is quite enjoyable for me and quite therapeutic. But just getting the shapes in the rough sort of size that I want them to be, and then get them in. Do a couple of welds, lock them in place, and then cut from there.
Righto, so I just welded in this corner here pretty much just to get it set. And even as it bends down, it pretty much lined up perfectly, so happy with that. Obviously it's come over as the bend sort of moved to the left a little bit, but I'll just sort of cut and adjust that as we go. And that's looking pretty good. So get the rest of these welds done, see how it ends up.
Now, luckily here the steel was pretty good. There was only small amounts of rust that I cut out, so the rust hadn't spread, which meant that the welds stuck pretty well and I didn't have to chase them. I wasn't blowing holes or anything like that.
Okay, just like a good magician never reveals his tricks, an average welder never shows his welds before grinding them. So in this case, I painted over them too. That doesn't really hide anything, but as you can see, the patch is very distinct there. And once I paint over it with the sweet cream, that will totally still be visible. This part doesn't really matter because that can look as shit as it can because it's underneath the guts, totally hidden. This is a little bit visible. When you open the door, that'll be visible. But here's the thing, I'm not Howard Astle. I'm not building show quality cars. I could grind it down a little bit more. I've got my little mini Dubo and I could get it, just feather it down and get it right. But I want to leave it like that. A, so it's easy for the inspector to tell that there is a patch there, and B, because it tells the story. And this car is all about the stories. This car isn't a show car, as you can see by the fact that I've basically but yeah, I've pretty much just thrown some treatment over that. I haven't gone all the way in. We're not stripping the whole bloody car down. We're keeping it running. We're keeping the story alive. So I think that tells part of the story. So I'd like to keep it visible. All right, so next up, I'm gonna clean up this area a little bit more, scuff some of the paint that I'm gonna feather it onto, sort of sand back this area so it sort of fades between the two. And we're gonna get the cream paint out, paint it, and slap all this back together.
Righto, so immediately after spraying, I realized that shit is getting everywhere. I'm gonna need a drop sheet. Where is the drop sheet that I bought literally 2 weeks ago? Well, here's a little speed lapse of me looking for it. Anyways, I found a bin liner. Kind of hacked that to bits and used that. Then used about 3 or 4 coats of paint till it was looking pretty uniform, pretty thick, and then feathered it off into the pillar until it was looking really nice.
And it's done. Look at that beautiful overspray. Overspray is just 3 layers of protection. Remember that one. Now there's a little bit of a line that I'm just going to sand easily to get that blend going in. But let's be bloody honest, on this car, it doesn't even matter. That's all covered. It's covered by the door hinges, door handles, and everything else. Yeah, I mean, look, if I was really having a go, I probably would have sanded this area where the door seal has been hitting over the years and take the kick panel off and take that little strip there and just paint the whole thing properly. But once again, that's how these things get out of bloody hand. And I've only got the afternoon. I'm already running late. I'm already blown out of proportion. It's getting late in the afternoon. I'm just gonna give it a little bit more time to dry before I attach the hinges and start slapping things on. Now, who'd have thunk it that when I bought this car saying there would be nothing left to do in it, it would be in this bloody state. Now, it does pain me to leave this like that and not paint that whole front, but that's how it gets away from us. So I've just got to chill out. I'll be getting back to the grill later because that is the grill I've got to put on. That's a brand new, that's a perfect condition XC grill over there. No plastics broken on it, everything's intact. The headlight buckets, everything included on that grill. This one's a little bit cooked. It's going back on for now. When I put that on, I'll get all that freshened up and that'll be post-inspection. But for now, let's just get it all back together and ready to go.
Boy, do I hate doing panel gaps. Exceptionally so on these doors here. There's 3 bolts per hinge and you've just got to keep loosening, moving the door around, loosening, moving the door around. Now, I wasn't trying to get it perfect, as you can tell at the end here. I've got a smaller gap than what I do at the top. But then I thought, you know what? That's okay. As long as the door shuts properly and shuts good and gets into the latch, that's all I really care about. Then moved on to the front quarter panel, which, yes, you've got to set the panel gaps there as well between the front door and the quarter panel and make sure that the door doesn't hit it when you're opening and shutting it. So there's a bit of movement in that, as well as getting the panel gap between the bonnet and the inside of the front quarter panel. So a bit finicky, but after a little bit of time, we got there, and then it was on to fitting the grille. Which, being almost 50-year-old plastic, there was a fair bit of broken plastic on it. All the screws that mounted the headlight buckets to the front grille, their mounting points were totally broken off, so it's only really held on by a couple of bolts at the top there. And then it was on to mounting the front bar. And look at that, it's the powder-coated bar going back on. Stay tuned for the next one. Chrome bar might be going back on for a certain reason, but that'll be in the next episode.
All right, and we're done. Unfortunately, after a whole day of work, it doesn't look any different. That's the crap thing about rust repairs, which is why I'm sick of doing the rust repairs on that. You do all this work just to make it look normal again. Now, I know the panel gaps could leave something to be desired. Now when you open the door, I mean, obviously you can tell there's been a patch there, but there's no rust. So I'm going to call that a win, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I'm sorry, but look at what Australia used to manufacture. Look at that. That was peak automotive design. And now what do we have? We have fucking Ford Rangers and 79 series. God. Round 3 for the vehicle inspection. We are good to go. Everything should be sorted out. There should be nothing. Oh, actually, we are not good to go. I've got to make a quick stop. All right, now we're good. All right, we should 100% pass the inspection today and then straight to the Department of Transport to get the rego sorted. The only thing I can think of that might not pass is the headlights, because I took a headlight bucket off, put it back on. I don't know if that adjusted the beam in any way, but if that is the case, then surely they can just adjust it there, or I can do it in the parking lot, because you just turn 2 little knobs to adjust the beam. But other than that, it should be all right. And then I don't know what to do after I get registration. After it's registered, I think I might just shut down my YouTube channel. No more to do. Sorry guys, I'm just going to keep it as it is and just enjoy driving it. There'll be no videos, no more videos of me messing around on the Falcon trying to make it better. Nah, this is 100% getting a V8 in it. Anyways, I'm going to turn off the camera, continue driving there in peace without you guys watching me, play some music and just enjoy the drive. I'm not even sure I want to keep filming. It's just, I might as well just shut down the YouTube channel, stop filming videos, because what is there left to do when you got registration? Let's go. It passed the test. Like I said, everything's all tickety-boo. There's no reason why it shouldn't pass the test. So it passed the test, straight to the DOT, got the registration, and now we are done. No more inspections on the XC Falcon. Here's the catch-22. I love it the way it looks. I love it totally original. I was dead set on throwing a V8 in it, getting it back to that rake, that stance, the big fat tires on the rear and the skinnies on the front, but it just looks so good. So now I've got to figure out what the plan is from here. I do love driving it around as it is, but I do have to get the V8, the running gear, out of the XA. Got to get that on a rotisserie so I can continue with bodywork on that. So it gives me a chance to clean up this shed, because I went from getting the Focus ready for inspection when I got the XC, and then I started getting the XC ready for inspection. So I've been non-stop getting cars ready for inspections for it seems like the past couple of months now. So it would be nice to just not have a booking that I have to get something ready by. So that being said, it is Thursday. Tomorrow, I might do a little something to the XC. I've got the all Ford day on Sunday. If you're watching this video now, it is Saturday, and the all Ford day is tomorrow. Unless you're watching this in a week's time, then don't go to Steel Blue Oval tomorrow, because there'll be nothing there and you'll probably be charged with trespassing. But I'm gonna go to the all Ford day. Might tinker with the XC a little bit, might change its appearance a little bit just to cause some controversy, maybe. And then also tomorrow, I'm gonna clean up this whole side of the shed. Probably get this XA to a point where I can roll it around on the dollies and just enjoy the XA as it is. By the way, how's this for my little number at the transport department? 117
If you know, you know. Speaking of transport department, shout out to old mate at the transport department that watches the videos and recognize me. It's pretty cool to see some local people get around these videos, so I really enjoy that. So thanks heaps for the support. Anyways, it's a beautiful afternoon. I'm gonna do anything other than work on the XC. Might go inside and play V8 Supercars too. So I'll see you guys in the morning. And it is not the morning, I lied to you guys. It is the afternoon on Friday, and I'm gonna wrap the video up there. Really don't think the guys at the All Forward Day are gonna like what I've done, but we'll see. That'll be in the next video, sort of what I'm doing. I know some people won't mind, but I know the die-hard originality Ford guys probably aren't gonna like this, especially at the All Forward Day. But that's all right, it's my car, I get to do with it as I please. If you want to do something to an XC Falcon, you can do that. I'm not stopping you from going and buying an XC Falcon and putting a V6 Commodore engine in it. You can do that if you wish. And on that knowledge bomb for today, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. If you've got this far and you haven't subscribed, surely that deserves a subscribe, maybe even a like, who knows. I'm gonna get inside and edit this video to get it out by tomorrow morning, and then I've gotta finish doing the stuff to this car, so it's ready for Sunday morning at the All Forward Day. If you're in WA, I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you next Saturday in the next installment of the XC debauchery.